Hi there. Welcome back. Or perhaps I should say it's good to be back. It's been a while since I've chatted with you all about what I'm seeing in the offices I'm visiting. As a matter of fact, the last time I did this, it was my 33rd office when I interviewed the delightful owner, Gemma, and now I've been to 36 offices. So I thought it was time for me to go over the common theme, recurring theme that I'm still seeing in these offices. And that is what you're all talking about every time you talk to one another, the problem of growth because of a lack of cleaners. So I think it's a good time for me to go over recruiting, interviewing, hiring, onboarding, which is a combination of an orientation in office and training in the field, and of course, retention, so you don't have to do this all over again. Anyone who knows me knows that I believe that the cleaner is what this business is all about. I felt that way 10 years ago when there were more cleaners than jobs. I feel even more that way today when there's more jobs than cleaners. So what you need to first do is find people who are interested in cleaning houses. We need to recruit people to our industry. We've done a horrible job of that as an industry, which I am attacking with some key owners in October. One of the things we need to remember about recruiting is it's the most important thing we're ever going to do. It is what gives us ultimate freedom and ownership. If you can hire enough cleaners, you don't have to clean houses. If you can hire enough managers, you don't have to deal with people calling in sick in the morning. You can come into the office at 9 o'clock after that mess is strained out. I made that comment to an owner about a month ago. I was in her office for the second time, delightful Suzanne Hazlett, and we talked about at her house when we were eating a leisurely breakfast how nice it is to have that freedom. She paid the price to get there and did the right things, and it's working for her. The second thing to remember about recruiting is like sales, it's a numbers game, and you need to play that game. I get a big kick out of it when owners tell me they cannot find cleaners, and then they tell me in the next breath that they got 90 to 100 responses in their Indeed ad, which I believe because we just got about 80 in Boston a couple weeks ago. Do they all contact you? Heavens no, probably 5 of the 80. But that's where you make the difference. That's where you pull ahead of your competitor. You take the time to call every single one of them. You take notes on what they had to say, whether or not you left a message. It'll take you about an hour to 2 hours to do. That is the best investment of your time ever, because if you do that right, everything else falls in place and you won't have to do it again until you want to grow. And as you make all these phone calls, be realistic. Don't expect to find you in that list of applicants. As a matter of fact, you don't even want to find you. If you find you and you hire you, you're overqualified and you'll start your own cleaning service. You want to hire people in whose lives you can make a difference. And this is true at every level. The reason I love it when my owners, I shouldn't say my owners, but when my clients promote the office person from a cleaner position, they'll be with that owner for years. Will they make as big an impact instantaneously? No. If you hire somebody from the outside with technical skills, with automation skills, with the things you're all looking for today, they will make a huge impact in your office in a year or two. But in a year or two, you will not have made a big impact in their lives, and they'll move on where they can take the small skills they learned from you with the skills they came in with and go to a better job with more opportunity. We are in a cleaning industry. We're only going to be able to offer so much opportunity. But if you take the cleaner and promote them, you have made a huge difference in their lives. You've educated them. You continue to send them to classes. You continue to teach them new things. Every day they learn more. They'll be with you for 15 or 20 years, which many of us have proven. Carrie was with me for 14 years. She brought me to $1 million. Without her, I would not have been there. It took 3 to replace her to bring me to $2 million. So believe me, take those cleaners and promote them. They will be with you forever. Now, 80 to 100 responses. I don't know why you would need more places to advertise, but if you do, go ahead and go to other sources. There's a lot of them. There's the newspaper. There's churches are a great venue for a continuous source of employees. Green sheets that are free giveaway papers, a sign in your car window saying you're looking for people, but take it down as soon as you find them. Even recruiting a good person at McDonald's that just has a bright twinkle in their eye. Say, hey, you ever thought about cleaning houses? Just don't recruit cleaners from other companies like you see them at a convenience store and you go up and recruit them. You will not be doing a good thing as far as networking within your own industry. Anything else is, fair game. Also, offer a referral bonus to your current staff. If they bring in a supervisor who's bilingual and who can drive a car, pay them $300 on the 90th day. Both the new employee and the person they recruited. Because they are a great source. But make it a while and make it for drivers and people with special skills. Do not overhire. Remember when you run that ad, that statistics show cleaners want to work full-time, not part-time. That is why they leave the food industry, fast food industry, and come to clean houses, because they're looking for full-time work, and most of us have plenty of hours for them. Advertise for full-time. It's easier to manage anyway, less people than more people. And if you got good people who want to work, why not give them more jobs? Again, less people, less headaches. If you do not have company cars, I would recommend you get them. Everybody who you talk to, where you ask, do you have a car? If they say no, you could continue to talk to. So whatever you can do to broaden your base to market for recruiting, you need to try and do that. Not to mention the fact that company cars also work very well in the sales end when it comes to recruiting new clients. When you place your classified ad in Indeed or wherever you place it, as I said earlier, you want to talk to these people for a couple of reasons. One is you want to write down absolutely everything you can about this person so that if you find yourself needing somebody as fast as next week, you don't have to start all over again. You can just go back to your applicant call-in log and see everything you wrote down about everybody. You don't have to read a whole bunch of resumes all over again. You've talked to these people on the phone and you've showed them that you care and you've taken control from the beginning. You control that conversation when you talk to them, whether you call them or they call you. Every single person you want to know, are they working now? What's their work experience? Have they cleaned houses before? You have a series of questions you want to ask them with quick answers. If they said yes, they've cleaned before, individual or company, teams or solos, how many houses a day did you clean, and that's enough. If you get into too much, you're actually interviewing on the phone. Your goal is to find out whether or not you want to set them up for an appointment and then set them up and get them in. It takes a long time to talk to 80 people, so don't spend too much time. If they're not there, make sure you leave a message and write all that down in your applicant call-in log. This gives you the strength to terminate somebody who's sitting in front of you, who's just treated you horribly for the last 3 months, doesn't come to work, talks to you rudely. Everybody else thinks that she walks all over you. But you can't fire her. Tomorrow you have a full load and you're already short-staffed. If you had a book, a log, as thick as the one I had upstairs made after 20 years, it was the biggest 3-ring binder you could find, you would have more than enough confidence to say to that person, you know what, somebody in that book is better than you are, I know that for sure. And terminate them before they're a bad seed in your entire company and go to that 3-ring binder and find somebody else. Remember, you don't want to find you want to find somebody who's able to clean houses. And if you have a good training program, that's just about anybody. So keep calling. Remember, recruiting is a numbers game. Be grateful you have 80 to 120 people to call and not just 8 or 10 like we used to have. Keep records so that you've got something to fall back on. A fallback position is always a self-sustaining company, so make sure you don't throw away valuable names, precious metals. People who even thought about ever cleaning a house for a living is a precious metal in our industry. You don't ever want to throw that number away. And last, give everybody a second chance. If they didn't show up for the first interview, set up another one. If they don't show up for that one, 2 strikes and you're out. And keep it fun, keep it happy, keep them laughing. If people laugh through your entire interview, they want to work for you. And when they leave there, they're hoping you will call them and say, yes, you got the job. But if you're serious and it doesn't seem like it's going to be fun, hey, cleaning toilets for a living is not fun. It's your job as an owner to make it fun. And that starts again when you talk to them on the phone and you're ready to bring them in for the interview. Be honest, tell them what's going on. If you're a home-based business, tell them you're a home-based business so that they can find you for the interview, which we will cover in our next segment called Interviewing. Until then, I hope you keep dialing and smiling, and remember, the cup is half full, not half empty when you have 80 people looking for a job.